Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'll show you how to make this awesome Christmas tree. It does look like a lot of work, but I've made a few jigs that would make the build a lot easier and a lot quicker. Please do like and subscribe, that would help me out a lot. Thank you. But before we can get started, I just need to plain cut every single piece. It's a little bit boring, so I'll just quickly go do that. There you go. All the dimensions for each part are mentioned here below. Now the cuts up here are 45 degrees. The cuts down here are 67.5, and same goes for the bottom here. Now the more difficult part about the build are probably the branches inside, especially the centerpiece. The cut in the top are 22.5 both sides, and it's a pretty dangerous cut, but I've made a small jig and we can do it on the circular saw quite safe. This jig is made from MDF 16mm, and on this jig I'll cut all the branches inside. On this side I've got my 22.5 degrees, which is the center part. If I flip it around, I've got all the other angles on this side. I've glued this guide on the back side. This way I can cut the centerpiece and all the other angles with just one jig. Here I cut the centerpiece on 22.5 degrees. Let's start with a simple jig for the bottom part. First I've made a small piece that is exactly 14mm thick, and that will help elevate the centerpiece to be exactly in the center. Now I add an MDF piece that has exactly 22.5 degree cut at both ends. Here I'm adding support to the bottom part and the top part so they don't move. A few guides to keep the top part in the center. And now for the assembly of the bottom part. You can use only glue and a clamp, or you can add a few extra nails with your nail gun. I've made a lot of the bottom part. Let's do the top part. For the second jig I'm using a piece of plywood where I marked a center line. In order to be able to mount the branches in the center of the tree, I use a few pieces of pine that are 20mm thick, which are shaped like the inside of the tree. I planed the small edge of the outer side to make room for the glue. These will also help hold the shape of the inside of the jig. For this joint right here, I've got the option to secure it with nails, but I also have the option to do without any nails and just clamp it on like this. Last thing I need is place this in the center. I've already made a few lines so I know where it's supposed to be, and I'm gonna glue these on with a bit of super glue. The gluing is done. We'll remove these, and now I'll show you how to cut these branches that goes inside. And now for the final assembly. I'm using Type Bond 2 and Type Bond Super Glue, the thick version. Just let it sit for 10 minutes. Now we should be able to take it out. For the final assembly, I've sanded them and given them 2 coats of oil. Now you can easily make every single Christmas tree unique just by adding or deducting a few millimeters on the branches inside. If you can't get enough of Christmas trees, then go watch my next video.